নমস্কাৰ স্বাগতম জনাইছো আপোনালোক সকলোকে বৰঠাকুৰ IAS একাডেমীৰ অফিচিয়েল চেনেলটোলৈ আজি আমি 3rd এপ্ৰিল 2023 কাৰেন্ট এফেয়াৰ্স সমূহ ইয়াতে ডিসকাস কৰিম আৰু লগতে প্ৰবেবল কোৱেশ্চনছ কি আহিব পাৰে হেয়াও ডিসকাস কৰিম We have taken 4 newspapers for this purpose, The Hindu, The Indian Express, The Assam Tribune and The Sentinel Assam. My name is Antara Bhuyan and let us begin with the discussion. নিউজপেপাৰৰ এইটো এটা ক্লিপ হয় দ্য হিন্দুৰ আজি নিউজপেপাৰ 3rd এপ্ৰিল 2023 নিউজপেপাৰত ইয়াতে আমি এনে ওপৰৰ পৰা এটা প্ৰিভিউ চাই লওঁ তাৰ পিছত আমি ডিসকাশনটো ডিটেইলছত আৰম্ভ কৰিম ইয়াতে সবতকে প্ৰথমতে যেটো আছে will relax 50% quota ceiling if elected আমি এটা কথা জানো যে ৰিজাৰ্ভেশনৰ ম্যাক্সিমাম সিলিং ক্যাপিং কোড দিয়া হৈছে 50% দিয়া আছে সো ইয়াৰে ওপৰত এইবিলাক ইলেকশনস প্ৰমিস হয় বেসিক্যালি সো চলি থাকে but as of now what we know is that 50% is the capping then Munnarot ekhon fern park khula hoise so there are trees then we have fern and then we have herb right I mean shrubs herbs and trees like that we had studied no bachpan mein padha hoga so now there is a completely dedicated fern park in Munnar next is about a Gujarati family which dies in the US Canada border then yesterday was 2nd of April and it was Autism Day so there is an article about the autism in India and the importance or the need for a national program related to the same there is another editorial in the Hindu newspaper which is about rare diseases so we will discuss about the article in detail and then we have former Indian player Durrani who passes away then there is a article about kettle van driver found dead after assault by cow vigilantes near Bangalore so this is about cow vigilantism repeatedly etu agoteo discuss kora hoise cow vigilantism or uporot so we will not be discussing this article over here on same-sex union faith leaders show rare unity this is a hot topic as of now because the Supreme Court is going to live stream the entire process on 18th of April so we are going to discuss the article from exam point of view so let us first share one snapshot from the Sentinel Assam সকলোৱে জনে ইয়াতে এডিআরই ৰিজাল্টৰ কাৰণে ওয়েট কৰি আছিল সো ইয়াতে এটা নিউজ অফিচিয়ালি ইয়াতে পাবলিশ হৈছে যে ক্যাবিনেট has taken the decision to publish the result to declare the result on 6th of May now let us begin with our today's first article that is on same-sex union faith leaders show rare unity আগত একদম সহজ সৰল ভাষাত এটো বুজিলো তাৰ পিছত আমি ডিটেইল স্লাইডলৈকে যাম এতিয়া কথা হৈছে কি ইয়াতে কিছুমান পেটিশনস আহিছে কোৰ্টৰ ওচৰত যে যিবিলাক সেম সেক্স ম্যাৰেজ হয় তাৰে ওপৰত as of now কি স্ট্যাটাস হয় হেতু বুজিলো for example a male and a male gets married a female and a female gets married or any such kind of coming together of LGBTQ+ এতিয়া ইয়াতে কি হয় ইয়াতে দুটা কথা আছে এটা biologically for a child a male and a female is required right or historically marriage has been more or less like a you can say sanskar which the government is saying and many people also have this ideology that marriage is for a progeny or for creating children etc now there is another concept where এতিয়া মডাৰ্ন ম্যাৰেজেস কিছুমান মানুহ হয়তো মেল আৰু ফিমেল হোৱাৰ পিছতো willingly child produce নকৰে but they do not want children so these kind of concepts are also arising nowadays and a male another concept যেটো আজিকালি বুলি নকওঁ মই আগৰ পৰাও মানে হয়তো আছে কিন্তু ইমান এটা আগতে কি আছিল আগতে এটো ক্ৰিমিনাল স্ট্যাটাস দিয়া হৈছিল যে এটো ক্ৰিমিনাল এক্টিভিটি হয় যদি সেম জেন্ডাৰ ইয়াতে if they're falling in love etc so a male and a male or a female and a female or any such kind of relationship now the thing is this criminal status was removed by the court. Etu gusai dia hoise. So now it is decriminalized. Etia etu criminal activity hoy niki? Nohoy. It is decriminalized. However, for a proper marriage, there is the Marriage Act. If somebody is Hindu, then he will come under Hindu Marriage Act. If somebody is from, say, Christian religion or Muslim, then they will come under, say, for example, the Muslim will come under Muslim Marriage Act. So, marriage acts থাকে. যদি ইণ্টাৰ ৰিলিজিয়াছ মেৰেজ হয় তেনেহ'লে স্পেচিয়েল মেৰেজ এক্টৰ ভিতৰত আহে. But the thing is, this same-sex marriages do not come under any of this marriage act, as a result of which these people are not able to register their marriage. Yes, this has been decriminalized as of now, but does not have the say they cannot have a marriage certificate because it does not comes under the Special Marriage Act. So now what happened? The court will obviously ask the say government, what is your opinion? So now in this particular case, all the leaders, the faith leaders, say the Muslim, Jain, Sikh, Christian leaders, then along with RSS, now everybody has come together in unity in opposition for the same-sex marriage. So they are opposing this particular thing. Okay, so that is in the simple language. Now let us see what else is the problem and why are we studying this. This is important from GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 perspective. Social empowerment or Indian society karno important hoy. So Supreme Court has already referred the case to a 5-judge bench, and the hearing of the case will be live streamed from 18th of April in public interest. Same-sex marriage in the Supreme Court, this hearing, final hearing and the live streaming will start from 18th of April, stating that marriage between a biological man and woman is a holy union. So ইয়াতে এটা আমি UPSC 2019 question চাই লওঁ আগবঢ়াৰ আগতে. Which article of the Constitution of India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice? जिससे मर्जी है शादी कर लो. So this comes under which article? 19, 21, 25 or 29. भावक सुन. Right to privacy, मेरी मर्जी है ना. Provided all fundamental rights have reasonable restrictions. माने मेरी मर्जी बोल के तुम दूसरों का freedom violate कर दोगे, दूसरों को परेशान कर दोगे, ये नहीं चलेगा. So rights comes with restrictions. Reasonable restrictions will be there. So right to privacy. এটো সুধিছিলে আগতে কিহৰ ভিতৰত আহিছিলে. So this is also in article 21 and comment কৰি জনাব যে right to marry whom you want comes under which article. Okay, right to life মানে सिर्फ सांस लेना ही जीना नहीं होता है कि ऐसा आर्टिकल तो राइट टू लाइफ विथ पर्सनल लिबर्टी राइट. सो कोनটো आर्टिकल হবো কমেন্ট কৰি জনাব. Now let us come to the history of this particular case. So agote ki asile, agote criminal activities criminalize kora asile, tare pisot there was the Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India case. And as per this case, it is not legitimized but decriminalized. Okay, so what both the parties, what they are saying about this. Special Marriage Act 1954, for example, there is an interreligious marriage. So this will come under it. It provides a civil form of marriage for couples who cannot marry under their personal law. Kunbai Hindu Marriage Act ba Muslim personal law bhitor jore biya patibo nore because say religious marriage or any other sort of marriages, then family law nahi, personal law nahile etu Special Marriage Act or bhitorot ahibo. ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু এতিয়া same sex marriage ahe neki nahe. Okay, now what the government is saying and what the religious leaders and other parties are saying is that it is not just marriage is not just an act in India, it is a sanskar. জন্মৰ পৰা মৃত্যুলৈকে কিছুমান সংস্কাৰ থাকে আৰু এইটো এটা সংস্কাৰ বুলি ধৰা হয় ইণ্ডিয়াত. Same-sex marriage cannot be compared to a man and a woman living as a family with children born out of union. So what the government is saying here, or what the faith leaders are saying here, yate কৈ আছে যে এটো এটা মেল আৰু এটা ফিমেলৰ মাজৰ বিয়া আৰু হিয়তে যেনেকে মানে children produce কৰে as a union, so that is not possible in same-sex marriage. So that is why they are not supporting it. Now, what is the other side of the picture? The other side of the picture is if we are saying that equal rights and protection under the law, and according to Article 21, if say a person has the right to marry a person of his own choice, then if somebody likes somebody from the same sex, then what they do in that case? Probably they will end up marrying, and then there is no law to get a marriage certificate. So that is the problem, and that is why number one, there is discrimination. Okay. Number two is if they are not able to get a marriage certificate, and if this say if the marriage will not come under any say legal act or provision, in this case, how will they strengthen their families? How will they gain security? How will they gain acceptance in the society? Because the law has not if the law has only decriminalized, agote to criminal activity ase, so society will also treat as say criminal activity, and if they will not be included in any particular act, in that case they will not get the acceptance. So this is another problem, that they will not get the acceptance, right? One more thing, society আমি আৰু এটা বস্তু ethicsতো লিখো, society-তো লিখো যে society will tend to go in the direction that it always used to go. Society cultural values kata ba whatever value, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, sometimes it is difficult to decide but whatever values it is, society always tend to go in the direction that it used to go. However, who will show the mirror or the direction in which direction we should go? The Constitution, the Supreme Court, the guiding light has to be shown in which direction to go. So that is another part of the debate. Okay. Now, as of now, in 133 countries, homosexuality has been decriminalized, but look at the difference in the number. Only in 32 of them the same-sex marriage is legal. So there is a difference between legalized and decriminalized. What is the status of India as of now? Same, decriminalized but not legalized. Okay. Now let us come to the religious and cultural beliefs. So traditional definition of marriage is between male and a female, so that is one aspect, that is the on the opposition side. And then procreation or creation of children out of marriage, that is number two. And number three is that legal issues and adoptions, so inheritance and how the property rights will function. So these are the points. Okay. Now let us come to the next article. The next article is important from GS paper 3 and GS paper 4 point of view. Now see, we all have heard about chat GPT, right? We all have heard about chat GPT. Previously there was chat GPT 3.5, and now in news we have the chat GPT 4, and who knows in future, এইটো মই মানে মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা কৈছো যে যদি 4.55 এনেকৈ আহে, যেনেদৰে আমি উইণ্ডোজ দেখা পাইছিলোঁ, উইণ্ডোজ 7, তাৰপিছত এতিয়া উইণ্ডোজ 10 or 11. So like this upgraded versions are coming, right? So about this. Now see, regarding the same, Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak, they have said AI can pose, কি বুলি কৈছে, they are the knowers or এইটো ফিল্ডত কাম কৰা মানুহ আৰু এইটো ফিল্ডৰ ইমান জানা মানুহ, they are saying that artificial intelligence pose profound risk to society and humanity আৰু societyৰ ফালে কি আছে, risk হৈ যাব পাৰে বুলি কৈছে. As a result of which, now why it is in news again is that very recently March ended on 3.5 তাৰপিছত 4 আৰু এতিয়া কোৱা হৈছে যে wait for a second, रुको जरा, 6 months का pause देते हैं, 6 months का let us give a gap. This has been suggested on training systems more powerful than chat GPT 4. I Robot মুভিখন আমি চাইছিলো যে আগতে এটা robot বনালে, তাৰপিছত robotটো আৰু improve কৰিলে. What if one day the robot is able to dominate the human আৰু humanতকে বেছি powerful যদি robotটো হৈ যায়? So that is why it is in news. Training system more powerful than chat GPT, এতিয়া সেইকাৰণে 6 months or pause দিয়া হৈছে. The latest development in OpenAI's chat GPT to kune bonaise, jeneke we know about Alexa bonaise. Similarly we have Siri, iOS or সাধাৰণ ভাষাত যেটো আইফোন বা আমি কওঁ যে এপলৰ, ঠিক তেনেদৰে চেট জিপিটিটো কাৰ হয়, কোনে বনাইছে? মাইক্ৰ'ছফ্টৰ ইনভেষ্টমেণ্ট আছে ইয়াতেও, কিন্তু OpenAI's সিহঁতে বনাইছে, AI এ বনাইছে chat GPT okay আৰু এতিয়া 6 মাহ কৈছে কি ৰখি যোৱা 3.54 4.55 কি বনাই দিবা 4 ত অকমান সময় ৰখি যোৱা 6 months ৰখি যোৱা okay so what is the full form of GPT it is your generative pre-trained transformer 3 okay the full form is your GPT pre-trained transformer yete version keta ahi jabo 4 ahi jabo tenendore okay so chat GPT. First, let us understand in very simple words. If you shop from Amazon or Flipkart, তেতিয়া আমি যেতিয়া return এটা start কৰিব বিচাৰো আগতে bot এটাই reply কৰি দিয়া নহয় there is initially the reply from how can I help you বুলি আহি যায় then we reply then they are able to guess the next question and they reply accordingly so these are automated process these are done by machines these are done by bots okay কোনো মানুহ বহি নাই কোনো মানুহে আমাৰ chat to reply কৰি নাই so similarly chat GPT is also nothing but eneke eta bot hoy jone actually ei gutekhini chatting process to kore okay now there was a question in UPSC 2022 what are the different elements of cyber security keeping in view the challenges of cyber security examine the extent to which India has successfully developed a comprehensive national cyber security strategy so agote cyber security related apnar 2022 question hudise so in future they can ask about chat GPT okay so by definition let us see how can we approach a chat bot what is chat GPT it is a chat bot it basically a bot hoy it is a chat bot a chatbot is a computer program that can have conversations with a person and has become a common part of websites in the last few years so basically chatbot to ki hoy ami je eneke Amazon ba Flipkart or eta kiba return start koribo bisarilo agote hudi dia how can I help you what is your order number eneke gute khini bostu je nije nije hoy jay ei chatting khini conversation khini this is done by a chatbot this has already been used by websites like Amazon and Flipkart for returns and refund purposes okay but a much more advanced version has been created by OpenAI and the name of the same is your chat GPT it was brought in last year and then now they are developing from 3.5 to 4 aru eta bortoman latest 4 version to ase aru 6 months or gap dibo karone koa hoise the letter which has been written by Elon Musk and the knowers of artificial intelligence what they are saying is that number one see human competitive intelligence hoy goise tamne okol etu manu hoy aru etu machine hoy enekwa no hoy mane competitive hoy goise ek dusre ko compete kar sakte hai that much intelligence these bots are now being coded to the author believe that could represent a profound change in history of life on earth prithivit mane gude itihahe bodli hoy jabo change hoy jabo he karone bostu to plan koribo lage aru bhal dore manage koribo lage eta out of control race ot jure jay na ami no hoy 4 banaisa roba ami 4.5 banai dim roba ami 5 banai dim lete gute human emotions khinie hoy jabo pura I robot hoy jabo so that should not be there this out of race so that even the creator won't be able to control it june banaise hie control koribo nwara hoy jabo machine to tenle ki hoy jabo machine e som manukara hack kori dibo so he karone etu stop koribo dise this is just to understand very easily okay so there are a range of questions obviously bahut useful hoy for example it can understand human emotions then chat GPT if somebody is visually impaired then chat GPT can be the guiding light in that case so many plus points are there and we all are aware of what are the plus points of artificial intelligence but there are many questions as well see the questions are what if the information provided is wrong and it is used as a propaganda to spread some lie number 2 ene sakori nai ene unemployment aru tare uporot ei gutei khini system jodi machinized hoy jay automated hoy jay bot hoy jay it is IT t iman job ase he sob ki hoy jabo customer care BPO ei sob ki hoy jabo number 3 eventually what if it outnumbers and replaces the human mind itself a non-human mind will replace or will pose a threat to the human mind there will be risk of loss of our entire civilization and nobody has elected these systems so they will be like unelected rulers or tech leaders who may be competing with the human mind so what will happen in that case next is your artificial intelligence simulation of intelligent behavior in computers. So what is it? It is nothing but intelligent behavior in computers. For example, machine learning, pattern recognition, big data, neutral network, self algorithm, etc. Let us understand with a very simple example. Agote ki asile, which of them is a car, and we have to tick that these are the cars, so I am not a robot, I am a human. But now see, you give them the name of the ingredients and they will tell you what recipes you can make. ইয়াৰে কোনটো কোনটো এইকেইটা ইনগ্ৰিডিয়েণ্ট দি দিছা যে এইটো এইটো ৰেচিপি বনাব পাৰে, so they have advanced to that extent. So what is the response of OpenAI? এইখিনিতো আমি questions এইখিনি চালো যে লেটাৰখনত পোষ্ট কৰা হৈছিলে, সিহঁতে ৰেছপন্সত কি কৈছে? সিহঁতে ৰেছপন্সত কৈছে যে as we create successively more powerful system, we want to deploy them and gain experience with operating them. माने हम उनको हमसे ज़्यादा powerful होके human civilization को ख़त्म करने नहीं देंगे. What will happen? We will gain experience and we will know how to operate them as well. We believe this is the best way to carefully steward AGI, that is artificial general intelligence, into existence. A gradual transition to a world with AGI is better than a sudden one. মানে all of a sudden যদি আমি ChatGPT everything is automated, one day job loss হৈ যাব, there will be economic crash down in the entire world probably in one step. So that will not happen. A gradual change will probably happen and not a sudden one. We expect powerful AI in the future to make the rate of progress in the world much faster. এটা মানে fast আৰু fast progress হৈ যাব. So they said that it is better to adjust to this incrementally. धीरे धीरे स्टेप बाय स्टेप इंक्रीमेंट्स में इसके साथ जो है एडजस्ट हो जाएगा. Okay, now let us come to the third issue, that is about autism. Since 2nd of April was the autism day, so that is why there is this article which is about India needs a national program on autism. And then there is another article about rare diseases. We will have a quick look into both the articles. So World Autism Awareness Day is celebrated on, or it is marked on, to gain the awareness about the same on 2nd of April. With well over 1 crore Indians in the autism spectrum, the point of early interventions being associated with the best outcomes need to be underscored. So autism to kenedore gom pua hoy? How do you assess whether a person is suffering from autism or not? So it is assessed behaviorally. There are some behavioral assessment tools. Ki tools ase? Question kori gom pabo, like questionnaires, interviews kori gom pabo. So this is how it can be known whether a person is suffering from autism or not. But the problem is this questionnaires and these interviews, the languages are in foreign country languages. Etialege Indian languages, we have 22 constitutional languages, right, in the 8th schedule. Etialege Indian language availability খুব লিমিটেড, গোটেইকেইটা লেংগুৱেজেছত ইয়াতে এভেইলেবিলিটি নাইয়ে. চ' কুৱেশ্যনছখিনি কেনেকৈ কৰিব? আৰু বহুতখিনি ট্ৰান্সলেশ্যনো হৈছে, কিন্তু কি হয়, ট্ৰান্সলেশ্যন হ'লে একজেক্ট ট্ৰান্সলেশ্যনটো নহ'লে কি হ'ব, দেৰ কেন বি you can say confusion, contradiction, validate কৰাটো দিগদাৰ হৈ যাব. So to overcome this challenge, there are also some task performing activities. এই কামটো কেনেধৰণে কৰে সেইটোৰ পৰাও গম পোৱা যাব যে autism আছে নে নাই. So first of all, the step is your recognizing. Then there is a gap between the demand and supply, the number of physiotherapists and the number of persons suffering from autism and the persons curing or helping in the same. There is a bridge between this which needs to be overcome. Okay, now let us look into the article which is on rare disease. Already 31st newspaper most probably ami dekha paisilo je there was a national policy of for rare diseases jote eta cancer drug, eta cancer or treatment or karone use kora drug pembrolizumab. So this particular drug এইটো বাহিৰৰ পৰা আনা হৈছিলে. Pembrolizumab এইটো বাহিৰৰ পৰা ইম্পৰ্ট কৰা হয় বা ইণ্ডিয়াৰ ভিতৰত আনা হয়, তাতে কাস্টম ডিউটিজ কিছুমান লাগে. এতিয়া কেঞ্চাৰৰ কাৰণে অলৰেডি ট্ৰিটমেণ্ট কষ্ট ইজ ভেৰি হাই, এণ্ড on top of that, if the drug also has to be brought up with additional say custom duties, then the people suffering from this, they have to undergo a lot of challenges and monetary challenges as well. So that is why this particular article is important. Okay, let us see. Center has announced that they will provide full exemption from basic custom duty for all drugs and food imported for treatment of rare diseases. এতিয়া কিছুমান ৰেয়াৰ ডিজিজেছ লিষ্টেড আছে, ক'ত আছে লিষ্টেড নেশ্যনেল পলিচি ফৰ ৰেয়াৰ ডিজিজেছত। ইয়াতে কিছুমান এই এটা এক্সাম্পল কি হৈ গ'ল, পেমব্ৰলিজিউমেব ড্ৰাগ হৈ গ'ল ফৰ কেঞ্চাৰ ট্ৰিটমেণ্ট। চ' এনেদৰে কিছুমান ড্ৰাগছ এণ্ড ফুডছ আছে যিবিলাক ৰেয়াৰ ডিজিজেছত ইউজ কৰা হয়। চ' দিজ ড্ৰাগছ এণ্ড ট্ৰিটমেণ্টছ উইল বি মেড কাষ্টম ডিউটি ফ্ৰী। অ'কে, now this add benefits beyond those already incorporated in the policies it originally 2017 not formulate kora hoisile and it was finalized under a year ago. In order to avail this exemption, the individual importer must produce a certificate from specified authorities. Jone import kori ase drug to hiye authorities or prata certificate yare karne dia yate procure koribo laibo. What is the status as of now? Medicines generally attract basic custom duty of 10%, while other categories of life-saving drugs or vaccines they get concessions or exemptions. কিন্তু যিটো মেডিচিন থাকে সেই মেডিচিনটো 10% কাষ্টম ডিউটি ইয়াতে দিবলগীয়া হয়। কাৰণ ধৰক 100 টকা 10 টকা 110 টকা তেনেধৰণে দিব লগা হয়। What are rare diseases? So rare মানে কি বহুত কম। Rare diseases are a group of diseases that incur infrequently, মানে বহুত কমন নহয়, জ্বৰ চৰ্দি কাহৰ নিচিনা নহয়, infrequently in community, and such patients are disadvantaged by the lack of volumes that they spur pharmacological companies into producing life-saving medicines. এতিয়া এটা কোম্পানীয়ে ডিমান্ড আৰু সাপ্লাই যেটো গেম হয়, এতিয়া যদি মানুহে 10,000 মানুহে ডিমান্ড কৰিছে প্যাৰাসিটামল লাগে, তাহলে কোম্পানীটোৱে প্যাৰাসিটামল বনাব। যদি এজন মানুহে কৈছে যে নহয় এটো এক্স ডিজিজ হৈছে আৰু ইয়াৰে কাৰণে ওয়াই মেডিসিন লাগে, কিন্তু ওয়াই মেডিসিনটো নবনাব কিয়? কাৰণ যাৰ যেটো ডিমান্ড বেছি হেতু বনাব সব কোম্পানীয়ে। So pharmaceutical companies are producing less number of drugs in case of the rare diseases, and many Indian companies are not producing, as a result of which import koribologia hoy at a very high cost and custom duties. Okay, now while some of these diseases do not have any described treatment methodologies, kyo rare diseases hoy so iman etialage yate research hoytu hua nai, so treatment methodologies o kom ase. Whether treatment exists, wherever treatment exists, the drugs have to be imported, and costs are prohibitive, putting it out of the reach of most people. Problem to ki hoy kisumanar treatment nai aru jodi aseo dam bilak iman beshi je kinibo nwari. While rare diseases are defined by their infrequent occurrence in the population, the sheer number of diseases estimated between 7,000 to 8,000 conditions. 450 of them have been reported from hospitals in India. Bahut khini rare diseases ase, kintu motamoti 450 ta rare disease India to yate deha koise. Now coming to the exemptions, exemptions already dia hoise kisuman diseases jeneke ami kisuman anti cancer drug got deha palu, then spinal muscular atrophy and muscular dystrophy yate already exemption dia hoise. Now also the NPRD estimates that for a child weighing 10 kg, the annual cost of treatment of some rare diseases may vary from 10 lakhs to more than 1 crore per year. Tamne eta bachar treatment rare disease or treatment or khorsa ek bosorot 10 lakhor pora 1 koti toka lage jabo pare, with treatment being a lifelong gute jibon bhor he treatment to laga hobo pare. So just imagine the cost. The duty exemption will lead to substantial savings for the patients. বহুত খিনি হেল্প ইয়াতে পাই যাব পেশেন্টসে, পেশেন্টৰ ফ্যামিলি আৰু হিয়তৰ কাৰণে এটা it will be like a ray of hope for the families. Okay, so while striking a note for the goal of affordable health care, because health should be affordable for each and everyone, the government must ensure that its directions are followed in full, besides staying the course to innovate solutions for this category of patients. Aru innovative solutions, aru notun solutions ami invent koribo paro, kintu till then at least we can follow that these government guidelines are followed. The next is about the first of its kind fernarium or a fern park. This has been opened in Eraviculum National Park. So where is Eraviculum National Park? It is in Munnar, and there are over 104 varieties of fern in the Eraviculum National Park. Okay. Now there can be a confusing question in prelims that it is the natural habitat of তেতিয়া আমি অকল ধৰক ফৰ্ন দিলে নহব বা যদি এটাই অপশন টিক কৰিব লাগে তেনলে আমি টিক কৰিব লাগিব নীলগিৰি তেহেৰ so it is the natural habitat of the নীলগিৰি তেহেৰ okay next is about international relation let us look into this article which is about the Indo-Pacific geopolitics no sayonara for Japan so Japan or prime minister Fumio Kishida India visit korisile motamoti 2 সপ্তাহ মান agote March 2023 he was here and what is the main reason the main reason is your FOIP so we will discuss about this FOIP that is your free and open Indo-Pacific free and open Indo-Pacific so already China is trying to dominate the Indo-Pacific region so in this particular scenario there is a role of Japan also to play in this so ami sam yate about the FOIP okay so that is why the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visited India okay so they have unveiled what is the reason they have unveiled this new plan that is the free and open Indo-Pacific okay so now when the Indo-Pacific region is already going through a war-like situation in the Russia-Ukraine war condition, Chinese aggression condition, China trying to dominate the South China Sea, East China Sea, Indian line of actual control and the Taiwan Straits. As a result of all these problems, the role of Japan is even more and the need for a free Indo-Pacific is recognized by the nations. So, he karne eikhini problems or karone yate ami jano je eta free aru open Indo-Pacific khub dorkar. Kintu challenges ki hoy ei free aru open Indo-Pacific or against that what are the challenges right so see we do not want to see any kind of problems like Russia Ukraine war in the future right already we have seen the Ukraine war issues related to food security then cyberspace problems then data stealing problems border disputes trying to dominate the seas so all these are the problem then there are problem of the international order how it should be and how it is at present the dangor master as a horu mas to khabo sai eta hey problems bilakor pra ami keneke overcome koribo paro so FOIP will be able to work with and embrace the diverse voices okol dangor masor kotha to nuhuno gutei keta diverse voices or kotha ete huna hobo aru eta cooperation or environment or atmosphere create kora hobo rather than one person being dominant or one person trying to dominate the entire South China Sea all the nations will be listened to and everybody's voices will be given a place rule making through dialogue should be encouraged एक ज़्यादा dominate करेगा दूसरा चुप बैठेगा एक दिन भड़केगा और फिर there will be war so it is better to have dialogue conversation and better to find out solution through dialogue than to go for war because both nations involved will definitely face loss in that case there are 4 pillars of cooperation in this and the 4 pillars are number 1 principles for peace and rule for prosperity so number 1 is peace and prosperity number 2 addressing challenges in the Indo-Pacific ways challenges we have already seen challenges can be the dominance in the sea the Russia-Ukraine war the problems of food security the problem of cyberspace etc then number 3 multi-layer connectivity that is her border road should be for all and समथिंग वेयर एवरीबडी कैन अग्री, ना कि तुम्हारा नहीं इसमें इन्वॉल्वमेंट है तो चलो मैं रास्ता तब भी बनाऊंगा. तो everybody's involvement and acceptance should be there in the connectivity. Then extending features of number 4, security and safe to use space both in the sea and the air. Now if you want to study this 4 pillars and in detail, then you can go through this. Infrastructure investment, already Japan has investments in India, so more in terms of infrastructure investment and more in terms of cyber security ইয়াতে importance দিয়া হৈছে. Then India Bangladesh cooperation and the entire archipelago, that is a group of island is known as archipelago. So entire cooperation in this entire region is given importance. Okay, so you can go into the details if you want to in this particular slide. Okay, and ultimately what do we want to achieve? By 2030 we want to achieve that proper infrastructure development should happen by both public and private investments. So that is the role of Tokyo. Okay, what is the role of Tokyo? In one simple statement, where on one side China is trying to dominate the entire Indo-Pacific region, and China is trying to grow its influence and trying to dominate the neighboring nations as well, often going into border disputes with the neighboring nations. The role of country like Japan, and obviously everybody looks up to India in such kind of matters, that India should sometimes come as a either say mediator or trying to consolidate the matters in the neighboring disputes. So that can also happen to ensure that there is peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, now coming to the next international agreement here, that is all eyes on border talks between Bhutan, China, and as the king begins India visit. So there is the issue of Doklam issue between Bhutan, China, and now all eyes on this border talks because the Bhutan king is visiting India, right? India, and now in that case it might go ahead and the dispute may become a Doklam tri-junction dispute. Okay, so this was again in news because Bhutan Prime Minister or the king has caused a storm with his comments on discussing the Doklam tri-junction dispute trilaterally. That is तीनों यहाँ पे बात करेंगे, तीनों देशों का इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहेगा as equal interlocutors, Bhutan, India and China. So past out ki hoisile, Bhutan and China signed a memorandum of understanding MOU for a 3-step roadmap to expedite the border resolution talk. And as of now, this article will again come in news after these agreements and after these talks are over. So that time also we can discuss about this. Next is about ISRO. ISRO's reusable launch vehicle landing test is now successful. So what we have to know here is an Indian Air Force Chinook helicopter. Okay, you must have heard about Chinook helicopter, was used to drop RLVTD from an altitude of 4.5 kilometer, and the ISRO executed the landing experiment and the experiment was successful. Okay, so what is the full form of this RLV? So it is a landing experiment of the reusable launch vehicle technology demonstration, and this RLVT, this has become now successful. Okay, then the next news about the Vice Admiral Sanjay Jasjeet Singh is the new Vice Chief of Navy. So who is the new Vice Chief of Navy? The answer is Vice Admiral Sanjay Jasjeet Singh. Okay, Sanjay Jasjeet Singh. Now what else can be asked is the Chief of Armed Forces, the CDS Chief of the Defense Staff General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, and the Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral R. Hari Kumar. Now let us come to the next topic important for GS paper 3. Okay, the aspiration of the new foreign trade policy seems ambitious. This is from the editorial section of The Hindu newspaper. এখন আজিৰ 3rd এপ্ৰিলৰ editorial হয়, long on intent. Since a long time we need a new policy for the or a new foreign trade policy. Let us understand in simple words first. কি হল বহুতে export কৰি আছিলে আগৰ পৰাও বহুত companies but then came a problem, and the problem was that during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, many export houses could not continue and they had to face penalties or they had to face some charges or they stopped the business in operation. Etia aru license to renew kora extra poisa fees, so whether to go back to that or not, so they were facing this particular problem. On the other hand, our targetor pra ami hetu karone covid or karone kisman problems hoy gol, so now we are adjusting everything, and our new goal, according to the Union Minister of Commerce, Industry and Textiles Piyush Goyal, the new goal is to achieve a $2 trillion total exports by the year 2030. So our new goal amar ki hoise sidha $2 trillion goal we have to achieve now by 2030. agote ki asle 5 year tenukwa dhorone ami planning korisilu, yate tenukwa specific nohoy, but sunset clause yate nai, specific date yate nai, but by 2030 we want to achieve this. Okay, with the government currently estimating exports to have crossed $760 billion in the fiscal year which ended in March 31st. Now we want to triple this export value. So a question here is, the government has introduced the Foreign Trade Policy 2023 which aims to increase the country's export to $2 trillion by which year? So we want to achieve this by the year 2030. Okay, so directly at a question hobo pare ba essay question hobo pare jote ami janibo lagibo what are the highlights of the Foreign Trade Policy Bill 2023. Now see, you can remember one entire book also for this, but at least remember 10 points which you can produce in your exam. যেটো লিখিব পাৰি হেনেকুৱা at least 10টা point এটা মনত থাকিব, মনত ৰাখাটো জৰুৰী. এনেকুৱা question হলে, what is the idea, why this bill, why this question is being asked, why this bill is being brought? So yare eta background ki hoy ki covid pandemic ot already bhalekhini piswai gol, and Russia Ukraine war to eta global trade momentum to disturb hoy gol, bahut khini industries thaki gol. Etia ki hoy to amaru target goals to ami achieve koribo para nasilu, so we want to achieve directly a $2 trillion economy by the year 2030. This is the prime aim of the Foreign Trade Policy of India 2023. Okay, this was introduced by whom? This was presented by the Minister, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal, and starting implementing from 1st of April 2023. Let us try to have a look into some of the key points. Okay, as part of the foreign trade policy, the Indian government has introduced an amnesty scheme for the one-time settlement of export obligation defaults. Sima etia defaults bilakot kabar je penalty asle heblako yate aru yate hetu nalagibo. Okay, the scheme will allow holders of advance authorization and export promotion capital goods authorizations to settle their export obligation defaults. Jodi kiba defaults asile hetu settle down koribo, hetu settle koribo paribo, hetur kane penalties aru eglak dibo na lage, aru renew jodi kabar koribo ase renew koribo paribo without any legal action. So this is a big relief. তাৰপিছত সহজ ভাষাত ক'ব গ'লে বহুত কিটা পইণ্ট আছে, তাতে কি হয় এক্সপৰ্টাৰ আগতে যেটো 5 star এক্সপৰ্টাৰ হ'ব কাৰণে যেটো ট্ৰেডিং কৰিব লাগিছিল এতিয়া হেতু কমাই আনা গৈছে, সো এইবিলাক পইণ্টছ ইয়াতে আছে. This move is expected to provide relief to exporters jar yate hoyto kisman default hoy gisle covid-19 pandemic or samayat, so they will also get relief. Number 4 is that there are 4 new towns which has been recognized as the towns of excellence. Okay, towns of excellence or towns of export excellence, towns of export excellence under the foreign trade policy. These 4 towns are very important: Faridabad, Mirzapur, Moradabad and Varanasi. Faridabad, Mirzapur, Moradabad and Varanasi. They are the towns of export excellence. Now see, in one go, we are not going to discuss all the key points. I would like to request you to write down at least 5 key points in the comment section. At least 5 key points from the Foreign Trade Policy 2023. At least write down 5 key points. Jodi belek point apnaloke na jane, no problem. Etu newsot etia thakiboy next bhadekhini samoy lage etu newsot thakibo. At least 5 point likhibo. Eku nilikhile etu likhi dibo je number 1, $2 trillion by 2023. Number 2, launched by Piyush Goyal, Union Minister. Number 3, advance authorization aru export promotion capital goods authorization of settlement in case of export obligations or any kind of legal penalties or porayate maaf kora hobo. Number 4, there are towns of export excellence. 4 towns are getting recognized kora hoise: Faridabad, Mirzapur, Moradabad and Varanasi. And number 5, COVID or jimankhini drawbacks asile hetu etia ami overcome koribo parim. Okay, so thank you everyone. Please participate in these sessions. যদি আপোনালোকে এই ভিডিওটো চাই ভাল পাইছে তেনলে প্লিজ হিট দ্য লাইক বাটন আৰু আপোনালোকৰ ফ্ৰেণ্ডছৰ লগতো ভিডিওটো শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিব। যদি আপোনালোকৰ কিবা সাজেশনছ আৰু এডভাইস আছে তেনলে হেতু আপোনালোকে কমেন্ট কৰি জনাব পাৰে। আমি নেক্সট সেশনছত হেবিলাক ইনক্লুড কৰিব কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিম। So I hope you will write the 5 key points, and the PDF of this particular video will be provided in the comment box and in the description box. Okay, thank you everyone. Take care, stay blessed, bye bye.